and welcome to Tuesday's edition of the Regional News. Venezuela's economy grew more than 5% in 2023 and growth will reach 8% this year, President Nicolas Maduro said during his annual address to the government legislature. Venezuela's economy has suffered a prolonged meltdown marked by triple-digit inflation and a mass exodus of millions of migrants seeking better prospects elsewhere. Though its inflation rate is no longer Latin America's steepest, since Argentina sped past 200%. State oil company PDVSA contributed $6.2 billion to the country's coffers last year, Maduro added. Sanctions relief, which is set to last until April, has increased prices for Venezuelan crude, and analysis expect the income to lead to more social spending as the government tries to ensure support in the coming presidential election. A date for the election has not yet been set, but it is expected to be in the second half of the year. The former managing director of BVI Ports Authority, Olivine Maynard, had her sentencing date pushed back by several weeks after repeated delays to the start of the drug and money laundering trial for former Premier Andrew Fahy. The trial for the former premier is scheduled to begin on January 22, pending the outcome of several motions filed by the prosecution and defense. Maynard heads the prosecution's list of witnesses and will now be sentenced on February 22. Fahy, 53, is charged with one count of conspiracy to import a controlled substance, conspiracy to engage in money laundering, and attempted money laundering, in addition to interstate and foreign travel in aid of racketeering. Fahy was nabbed in Miami after he allegedly conspired with Maynard and her son Kadeem Maynard and agreed to allow large amounts of cocaine to pass through BVI's ports as part of a multi-million-dollar deal he's alleged to have made with the informant of the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, who was posing as a drug trafficker at the time. Maynard admitted in a plea agreement that she introduced the DEA informant to Fahy, and together they used their authority to facilitate the secret cocaine smuggling plan. She is expected to offer critical testimony against Fahy after accepting a plea agreement, which gives her a chance at a reduced sentence for her role in the scheme that shook the territory in 2022. Seasonal viruses and COVID-19 cases are rising across the U.S. Virgin Islands, forcing officials to urge islanders to be vigilant. The surge in new COVID-19 and flu infections has been linked to an influx of visitors during the holidays. Acting Health Commissioner Ruben Malloy said, quote-unquote, "We are receiving more and more calls about flu and viruses spreading in the territory, and we encourage the public to take precautions to protect against contracting and spreading the flu and COVID." Malloy noted epidemiology reports indicate low numbers of both COVID and flu cases, with 15 COVID cases reported in the first week of January and 7 flu cases in December. But he cautioned the territory could see a spike in cases later this month following large gathering associated with Christmas and Carnival. Islanders have been urged to get vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19 since they are among the best ways to prevent becoming severely impacted by the virus. Thank you for watching. I am TIANA.